Hello, folks, and we are live, I think. Let's go check on Rumble. Stand by. I got a new monitor hooked up, and it's not helping me. I thought it would, but I only had like 5 minutes to play with it before the live stream started. Yeah, it's not working, but I mainly hooked it up so I could put the chat windows up on a big screen, and well, that is not really working out for me. But that's okay. We have plenty of other stuff to talk about. I'm so glad you guys joined me. Feel free to join and chat. We got a ton to talk about. And welcome to CaliBased. This is episode number 6, I believe. And it's the Easter special. There's not anything special about it. I'm just going to talk about a bunch of stuff like I always do. But there's probably nothing else going on. So I'm glad you guys are here joining me to talk about stuff, especially California stuff that nobody likes to talk about around here. And I think what I'm going to start off with is the Riley Grimes stuff. I'm sure you guys have all seen the footage already. But actually, let me go check out the chat really quick and see if I even have it current before I get into it. Yeah, everything appears to be good. And I think I'm live over there, so okay. All right, the Riley Grimes stuff. Well, you guys probably already saw the footage. She's a University of Kentucky swimmer. She's the image that I used for my thumbnail tonight. She's an absolute badass. I mean, I thought it was just some good swimmer that was outspoken, which would be perfectly cool. That would be awesome. But that's not the case. She's like top of the top. This chick is badass. And, I grew up playing baseball, martial arts, and now I run ultra marathons and stuff. So I like athletes. I like it when athletes perform at a very high level. And she does. She performs at a very high level. You look at her, she's freaking jacked. Her arms. It's Easter. And I think my mom's watching. And she got mad at me for cursing. And I'm my own man. And I'm not going to reduce the amount that I curse, except for today, because it's Easter. And I'm just doing it for you, Shelly. All right? So I'm going to say frickin' instead of the F word. I'm going to try at least. If they come out, they come out. I'm doing my best, okay? University of Kentucky swimmer. I wanted to, go down the rabbit hole of her events and stuff and see if she's broken any records and stuff. I think she beat the silver medalist for what was it, like Taiwan or something like that. I have it written down somewhere, but my stuff's kind of a mess right now. But she's a high level swimmer, really high level swimmer, and she lost to what's his butt? I'm not even gonna say his name. Her name, whatever, but the Penn State swimmer, I don't even have the name written down because it's not even that important of a story, but she lost to him, and it wasn't even fair because, she kind of hung with them in some of the events, and I think she tied him in one of the events. I can't remember the name. It's bugging me that I can't remember his name right now, but I think she tied with them with one of the events, and they decided to take a picture with her, him, her, he, her, him, her, and instead of Riley Grimes for optics reasons, just to save face and say, look how woke we are. And so they decided to do that, and well, everybody, so whoever finished 4th would have been on the podium, and all the way up. Oops. The medals were kind of robbed. The medals were robbed of them. The D1 level competition is serious. These athletes compete their whole lives, compete at the highest level, play against the best competition, compete against the best competition. They train at a level that, I train at a pretty high level. These people smoke me. It's ridiculous. They eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff. And for what was a mediocre male swimmer to come in, I don't even think they were ranked. They were ranked like I don't even want to say because I don't know. They weren't ranked high. They weren't, a medal contender. They weren't. The person wasn't a high level swimmer. And I don't know, you look at pictures before the transition, and it kind of looks like a doughy average white dude. Granted, that's what Tom Brady looked like, and not at the end of his career though. He started his whole TB12 method. I mean, doing some serious stuff. He got kind of jacked, but not jacked, but shredded. But the swimmer just looked like it didn't. I'm just judging now, but didn't look like a swimmer that worked hard. Worked at the highest level, like a Michael Phelps or whatever. Didn't look like a typical swimmer that's just shredded. And I imagine if you want to be the top level D1 swimmer, you got to bust your A. See, Shelly, I caught myself there. I'm not even saying the ASS word. I spelled it out there. I don't know why the difference is, but anyway, so mediocre level swimmer comes in, just starts dominating all the competition. You guys know the whole drill, and we know why. It's a dude. I mean, there's a reason we're not seeing biological females coming in and mowing down baseball players with 95-mile-an-hour fastballs. Why aren't we seeing that? Why aren't we seeing, people that were born female and they transitioned early, started doing testosterone early, whatever? Like, why haven't we seen a biological female in the NFL just trucking folks, just absolutely, like or a cornerback type runner, biological female? Why haven't we seen that? I don't know. I mean, there might be something to it. There might be an actual difference between men and women. There might be bone density differences. The thing that screwed up is I only played 2 years of junior college. And I think I could probably get 2 years of eligibility somewhere if I really wanted to. And I only played basketball up until like 8th grade. I can still dunk. I don't know. I almost want to do it. I almost want to just be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm Michelle now. I identify as female, and I am going to take you to the hole. I'm going to dunk on you, and it's going to be awesome. But I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. Zuby didn't do it. He didn't change anything. He just said, hey, I'm a chick now. I'm a chick for a day. And he went and did the crazy bench press or whatever it was. Anyway, you guys get the picture. Dude comes in, dominates. Riley's pissed. Good reason. Riley is top of the top, dominating everybody else. And then all of a sudden, what she's worked her whole life for is just being tossed aside. And she's one of the only what's her name? The biological female. Here, let me check the chat. Somebody in the chat, tell me what's the dude chick's name from Penn State, this one? Peekaboo. Peek Grabber. Hello. Do you know the name of the swimmer from Penn State? One of you guys got to tell me. Come on. I know one of you guys knows. Let's see. Oh. Deegan Stunner. Thanks. You like the new look? I got a new camera. I did. I got a new angle too. I got a new desk. And that's why I was late today, because I was putting it together. I get why people pay extra for people to assemble stuff for them before they take it home. But if I could use a female kicker, punch it up. Yeah, for sure. You know what? I've always wanted to see like a second baseman. I don't see why a female couldn't be a second baseman in the major leagues. Like, you don't need an absolute cannon from second base. And I've seen chicks with cannons, chicks that can run really fast, chicks that can get the bat on the ball. I want to see a leadoff hitter, female second baseman. Second base woman? I don't know. But they all play softball, It's a different sport. So the chicks grow up playing softball. It's just the thing. And, it's understandable too. Like, why would a chick want to probably sit the bench? Because, that's probably what's going to happen. You're going to play behind, you got to be legit. But you can Stunner. Thumbs up. Oh, okay. Is it the look? Soccer kicking transition to kicking field goal. Yeah, for sure. Yes. Like, I have no problem females competing in male sports if they're good enough, if they're like beating the competition. I would be stoked, actually. I like it. I like seeing a chick beat up a dude too. It's funny. No like sex stuff. Just it's funny if a chick beats up a dude if she's better at it. But check the Rumble chat too. Nobody's telling me the name of the swimmer, the Penn State swimmer, the trans Penn State swimmer. What's the name? All right, I have to look it up now. All right, hold on, guys. It's bugging me. Penn State trans swimmer. Leah Thomas. That's it. That is it. Leah Thomas. So I don't even think Leah Thomas is ranked. Kind of looks, you know, doesn't Leah Thomas before transition didn't look like they trained super hard to me. Doesn't look like Michael Phelps. And anyway, what was I? Where was I going with this? Yeah. So why aren't we seeing the other way around? We're seeing. So I'll go out on them here. I don't think this is trans what we're seeing. I don't think we're seeing trans with Leah Thomas. You know, there's people that have gender dysphoria, and it's a legit thing. And, you know, we should talk about it. But I don't think what we're seeing. Sorry, not to fantasy swimming. So I don't know. Do they have fantasy swimming? I don't know if they have that. Jeez. See, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at bouncing. I lose my thought like immediately. Okay. The trans. I don't think what we're seeing with these athletes deciding that they're trans all of a sudden and going and competing. I don't think that's what we're seeing. I think that we're seeing some sort of other psychological condition. It's not gender dysphoria. They enjoy dressing up like a female and like this whole attention thing. And I'm not a psychologist. I'm talking out my ass right now. I'm just making this up. This is just what I think. It's just my opinion. But this ain't right. There's no way you can say we're not destroying safe spaces for women. We're not destroying spaces for women to compete. And one of the biggest things that Riley talks about is the locker room stuff. It's not just the fact that she's getting knocked off the podium, but she's getting second place now. It's the locker room stuff. She talks about Leah Thomas specifically. Like they're undressing in the locker room, and it's like a normal thing. They it's the girls. She grew up swimming, so like that's a normal thing. Girls being naked in the locker room, whatever. Dudes don't belong in there. So all of a sudden, there's this big old swinging whatever, and she even says it's like all the girls just naturally cover up, and that's beyond not cool to put girls in that position. Like, what are you doing, NCAA? I heard they just made it illegal. They can't. Biological males can't compete in female swimming in England now. I guess that became a thing today. But like NCAA, what are you doing? And so there's the whole physical advantage part. There's the whole locker room part, where it's just like sexual, and I think that's a thing. Like if they're getting naked in the girls' locker room and like making a thing of it and wanting to get that sort of like, this isn't trans stuff to me. This is a dude acting funny, trying to get his rocks off. And I'm calling bullshit. That's what I think this is. I think this is dudes trying to, I wanna be a champion. And I also have this weird fetish thing where I want to dress up like a chick, but I'm still attracted to chicks. I want people to call me a chick, but I guess I'm a lesbian now. I don't know. I don't think this is legit. I don't think it's legit. Trans people are legit. I'm not saying that's not a thing. Like gender dysphoria, and it sucks because I have friends. I have 2 friends, like in real life, that have gender dysphoria. And these very awkward conversations that I got to have with them. And they probably don't watch the show. And they might get mad if they watch the show. I have another friend that's gay, a lesbian, and she, like, pretty much agrees with me But she says that she doesn't want people to view me as transphobic because she knows I'm not. It's like, okay, well, I'm not. So why would they, why would you care if they view me as that? Why would you care if they view me as something that I'm not? So it's this whole, that's why people don't want to talk about this crap. They don't want to get viewed in a certain light. What up, Amit? What's up, dude? What else we got here? Don't worry, said there's people pushing. There's a jet, yeah. I don't know what they're talking about either. Yeah, I know, man. All right, so Riley Grimes, she goes to San Francisco State, and with Turning Point USA, I don't know if Charlie Kirk was with them. I'm a little annoyed that Turning Point USA didn't have better security, didn't anticipate this sort of situation. This isn't new. We remember Ben Shapiro from back in Berkeley, or his whole college campus tours that he was doing back in 2015. Like, this isn't new. This isn't a new thing. I don't think conservatives should be going to college campuses trying to do this crap. You know what's going to happen. Like, do it a different way. Be smarter about it. If you're trying to actually get your message out, do it a different way and be smarter about it. If you're trying to just go and stir the pot, then fine. If you want to go to college campuses and have an actual, conversation, Q&A, and all that stuff, you got to figure out a way to make it safe for your speakers. Before, after, and during the show. Like, that was not cool what happened to Riley. So, all right, you guys saw the video. Here, I got it queued up, actually. Let me see here. All right, I'm gonna try to share my screen and do the stuff that I did on my last show. I sucked so bad. I really apologize. My last show was crappy. I know it was crappy, and I apologize, guys. All right, I'm gonna try and do this again. So, actually, let me try to do this a different way. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so here's the video. Let's see if it plays. All right. I'll check the chat after this, but tell me if you guys can hear the audio this time. I think I got the audio figured out. So it's muted. Well, I can't hear the audio. Why is it muted? Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know why. All right, let me go back. So frustrating. It's when I'm streaming too, my computer just runs super slow. I might just have to describe it to you guys, but let me check my audio settings real quick. Oh. I bet my audio is better now, huh? My audio probably sucked before. I promise I'll get better at this, guys. I will. It's only stream number 6. Let's see. Actually, I do want it to adjust mic volume. So why was it muted? Let's see. Oh. I'm looking at the chat now. Pudding and Stoner, you said you heard it? Pudding and Stoner, you said you heard the audio when I was playing it? Sorry, guys. Now I'm troubleshooting. Huh. That's weird because I don't hear it. But I guess I'm okay with that. I don't need to. Oh, okay. Hi, Mom. Okay, that's weird. All right, so I'll play that video again. Let me go back to it. Let's see. See, but now I screwed everything up. I know I didn't. There we go. Okay, let me try this again. I'm going to play this one more time for you guys. Right now, this is her like exiting the classroom, right? So you can read her sheet as well. She's ambushed and physically hit twice, which you cannot see in the video. I will say that. Hopefully, you guys can hear the audio. They're just straight ambushing. There's other angles of this as well. I encourage you guys to go look at the footage. But there is a mob, straight up mob, surrounding her, all behind her, and there's only like 3 cops. They force her back into this room. They basically force her down this narrow corridor into a room, and now she has to go into the room. Now she's trapped in it. This big, ridiculous mob. I mean, all right, so you saw that video. This big, ridiculous mob just stays out there chanting for a ridiculous amount of time. And let me try something. Okay. All right, and I'll get faster at this too. All right, so you saw the video. Yeah, say hi to my mom, guys. She's in the chat. Yeah. Be nice to her too. No don't you guys go trying to do any funny word spelling in there either. I know how you guys get. Let me go check the Rumble chat. Oh, I got people in the Rumble chat. All right. Sibling revelry. What is up, guys? Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Yeah, if you could hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. It definitely helps the algorithm. Peak Grabber, hello. You could hear also over here on Rumble. Cool. Awesome. So it looks like I got that figured out. What's weird is I can't hear it. So I guess that's better, though. I could hear it before, and you guys couldn't. So I guess I'm good. All right. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. So they forced her into a classroom. I don't know how long she was in there. It was probably like, I don't know. It was at least a half an hour, I'm assuming. But it could have been up to a couple of hours. But the whole mob's out in the hallway just doing their mob stuff that college mob kids do. And you could see years and years and years of footage of this. Go back to starting with the Evergreen College stuff with Brett Weinstein up in, I believe that's Washington, Pacific Northwest. And the kids are just, they're like being super hyperbolic, saying, make her give us money, give us $10 each. And then, the people on the right are blowing that way out of proportion, saying like, they're trying to extort her. And the kids are saying it tongue in cheek and stuff. But at the same time, what they really did is they forced a girl into a room where she was held captive against her will. And they jokingly said for her to give them money. There could I'm not a lawyer. Tracy, if you're watching this, that's my lawyer. She's awesome. You guys should follow her. California Parents Union. You guys should give them a follow. They represent the parents against the California school unions because they are nasty. California school union. I mean, the wokest of the woke. So Tracy is an awesome person, and she goes to war. She went on Tucker with me. She's awesome. So you guys might remember her. But shit, see, I'm such an idiot. I get so sidetracked. But yeah, so they're trying as lawyer, you guys would have to answer if that's some sort of kidnapping and extortion or whatever that would actually be charges wise. But that seems highly illegal to me. Highly illegal. And now she's trapped in there, and it's got to be terrifying.
I mean, this is a girl, you know, and they're an adult, an adult woman that was born a female. Now, the left-wing media, like local media around here, because this happened in San Francisco State. That's why I'm talking about this so much, because this is such a representation of the California mentality. This is how people are, like how they behave on this campus. This is how grown 56-year-old women behave. I'm not kidding. Like, what has happened over the last 20 years with the transition from like the left being accepting and nice and caring and empathetic to being downright evil and hateful towards people. Like the shift is insane. What has happened, and it's happened in my lifetime. I've noticed it personally, and you will see that mentality that was taking place on the campus, the San Francisco State University campus, to rally grinds. That's the same mentality that exists almost anywhere in California that you go. Well, no, I should say almost any like large city in California that you go to. So the left-wing media is trying to like downplay it and say, oh, she says she was assaulted, and the video does not show that. Nobody sticks up for her. Nobody sticks up for her and says, but you know, that what was done to her was abhorrent. It had to have been terrifying. You know, we completely denounce everything that was done to them. The students are going to be held accountable. You know, none of that stuff that you'd expect from in any situation where a speaker, especially a young female speaker, was forced into a classroom at the hand of a mob and held hostage. Like, how they're downplaying this is insane. Now let's reverse it. Let's reverse it. Let's pretend that Leah Thomas goes and wants to give a talk at a conservative campus. And there's a bunch of, you know, conservative students out there, and they're wearing their hunting gear. No guns, just their hunting gear, right? There's chicks and dudes and everything. And, you know, Leah Thomas gets shouted down. There's a ton of them, same amount of people. And they shout him down. They start shouting Leah Thomas down, saying, women are women, women are women, and get super in the face and aggressive. And same video, same exact thing happens. Leah Thomas gets forced into a room. You know, there's conservative chicks and dudes out in the hallway chanting, women are women, women are women, and being, you know, belligerent and violent. Like, even if Riley Gaines wasn't even if she wasn't hit, which I don't see why she would just make it up, saying she doesn't need to see it. She felt getting impacted twice. Also, athletes are good at that. They could tell, like, they have really good spatial awareness. She knows she got hit. I don't see why she would just make that up. But let's just say she didn't. It's still violence. That is still violence. Anyway, reverse the situation. This happens to Leah Thomas. This is going to be wall-to-wall coverage. Oh, then they're wearing MAGA hats. Think about that too. That reverse the whole situation. They're wearing camo jackets. They look like, you know, they're wearing camo jackets, and they got MAGA hats on, and they're saying women are women, and they force Leah Thomas into a classroom. What's gonna wall-to-wall media coverage? You know it. Nothing. You don't even hear anybody on the left, anybody in the Bay Area saying, you know what, that was messed up what happened to her. And much less people in the Bay Area agreeing, saying, yeah, you know what, there really should be, you know, a female sport should be for females. If biological males want to transition to being a female and they want to compete in sports too, there should be their own league that consists of biological male that have transitioned to female athletes and females that want to compete against those athletes at their own will. Like, you can't force these athletes to compete against men, to compete against biological men. You can't do it. Especially biological men that have been dudes their entire life and competed at a D1 level as a dude. Like, that's insane. You've gone through, you're a full grown ass man, and you're a high level athlete. Like, even if you're not ranked, you're still, if you're a D1 swimmer, you're pretty legit. Like, you know, I'm a very avid runner. Leah Thomas, pre-transition, being that D1 swimmer, could probably go out to the trails and smoke my ass on like Shelly, I'm sorry, I cursed. Is that a curse word? Is the ASS word? Is that a curse word, Shelly? Shelly, you got to answer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shelly. I tried. It's Easter. I'm doing my best. But point is, Leah Thomas went through this whole male life. And then all of a sudden decides, like, over a summer, I'm a chick now. I'm going to go dominate the competition. Ain't right, man. That ain't right. And then there's this. All freaking Riley Gaines does is say, no, that's not cool. I don't want to compete against the biological male, especially because I would be the best right now if it wasn't for Leah Thomas. Like, Riley Gaines in multiple events would be the best. And I think in, what is it, like the 500-meter butterfly? I don't know. Some event she just dominates in, apparently. Like, absolutely crushes everyone in. And I think that's the one she tied Leah Thomas in, you know. And if you're that legit and you've trained to be the absolute best, like, I'm sorry, I talk about running too much. Nobody cares you run ultra marathons, and I'm sorry, but being an ultra marathon runner, I have no delusions of ever being the best. I'm a middle of the pack guy, and I have no delusions that I will ever be a podium guy, especially in high level races. Like, there's guys that can do things that are superhuman, like Walmsley. There's a guy named Jim Walmsley and there's a race called Western States. I think he holds the record still, I imagine. There's also Zach Bitters. There's Zach Bitter. There's no S, I don't think. Zach Bitter. Probably never see this, but that dude is a savage on a treadmill. These guys can run like a 5-minute pace for 100 miles. Not just running 100 miles. They can run a 5-minute pace. A sub-6. I can't do a half marathon I might be able to. If I trained my ass off, I might be able to do a half marathon in a sub-7-minute pace. There's people out there that can just do astronomical things. So I have no delusions of ever being the best. Riley Gaines trained to be the best. And now she just gets kicked in the figurative balls. And Riley Gaines going to San Francisco State, of all places, to talk out against this stuff. She's got bigger balls than Leah Thomas. Hands down. Way bigger balls than Leah Thomas. Riley Gaines. Hands down. I don't know how she tucks them into that suit. I really don't know. Because they are gigantic brass ones. She went to the wokest of the woke place on earth and said, nope, you guys are stupid. All of you. And I don't care. And then afterwards, after they forced her in this room, she just basically flipped everybody off. I would do it right now. I would do this finger, but I don't want to because my mom's watching. Okay, she says the ASS. So I can say ass, Shelly? Ass on Easter? Is saying ass on Easter is okay? Okay, that's good. I'll say ass on Easter. All right, cool. Thanks, Shelly. I feel better now. Yeah, so I think that is... Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. You know, I want to show you San Francisco State's response. This is rich. This is unreal. Yeah, let me show you this. So San Francisco State the next day decides to come out with a response. And let's see here. There it is. Where are we at? Here it is. Oh. Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry. Stand by. Let me find it here. Oh, here it is. It's weird. This Ollie London guy, that's the guy that was transracial. He's the British dude that decided he was Korean. Like, he's always speaking out against this stuff. But all right, let's read San Francisco State's statement here. Okay, so dear San Francisco, hold on, I need to take a sip of water for this. I'm a little parched, and this straight triggers me. Okay. Actually, you know what? Here, hold on. Let me go read the Rumble chat before I check here. All right, cool. I guess we're good on the Rumble side. Okay. Okay. Oopsies. Did I do it again? I did it again. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Okay. So, dear San Francisco State community, today San Francisco State finds itself again at the center of a national discussion regarding the freedom of speech and expression. Let me begin. It's funny they should say that because they just shouted down the speaker. Like, I don't even think she got to say the stuff that she came there to say. They shouted down the speaker. So they start off that. Today, San Francisco State finds itself again at the center of a national discussion regarding the freedom of speech and expression. Let me begin by saying clearly the trans community is welcome and belongs at San Francisco State University. Further, our community fiercely believes in unity, connection, care, and compassion. Yeah. And we value different ideas, even when they are not our own. Oh, so triggered. SF State is regularly noted as one of the most diverse campuses in the United States. This is what makes us Gators, and this is what makes us great. It's funny because we don't have Gators here. There's no Gators. There's no Gators like anywhere in California. But anyway, and this is what makes us great. Diversity promotes critical discussions, new understandings, and enriches the academic experience. But we may also find ourselves exposed to divergent views and even and even views that we find personally abhorrent, that women should be able to undress in a locker room without seeing a hard, erect man staring at them. That's an abhorrent view. These encounters have sometimes led to discord, anger, confrontation, and fear. We must meet the moment and unite with a shared value of learning. Didn't seem like they had very much of a shared value of learning there. Thank you to our students who participated. Oh, so triggered. Thank you to our students who participated peacefully in Thursday evening's event. It took tremendous bravery to stand in a challenging space. I am proud of the moments where we listened and asked insightful questions. I am also proud of the moments where our students demonstrate the value of free speech and the right to protest peacefully. These issues do not go away, and these values are very much at our core. That is so triggering. It's just gaslighting at the highest level. It's the exact opposite of what's happening. The brave person is Riley, going there to speak to all of you in all of your stupid faces and saying, let me swim against chicks. I'll continue. Triggered? I'm sorry. Okay. This feels difficult because it is difficult. I'm sorry. I know this is a woke liberal chick that wrote this. Just that sentence right there tells me this is a woke liberal chick that wrote this. This feels difficult because it is difficult. Okay. This feels difficult because it is difficult. As you reflect, process, and begin to heal, please remember that there are people, resources, and services available and ready to receive our Gator community, including faculty, staff members, coaches, and mentors who are here to support you, just in case your little feelings are hurt from screaming at a girl in a big mob. Like, you might need support. It's mind-boggling. Here's your campus resources. Oh, Jamila. Doesn't sound like a dude's name. I mean, a woke dude could have wrote that. I mean, but it was a very, very small chance by that one sentence that I read. This seems difficult because it is difficult. Is that what you said? What was that one sentence again? Oh, that was awful. Awful? I just made up a new word. That was awful. This feels difficult because it is difficult. Yeah, that's such a woke chick thing to say. You'll never hear a dude say that exact phrase. A tough, like, manly dude. You might hear dudes around here say it. That's it. Here's your links. I can't, you guys. I can't do it anymore. Okay, hold on. Let me fix some stuff here. Oops. Uh-oh. I screwed something up, guys. I guess we don't need to see that anymore. All right. Yeah. I've kind of beat that to death. I've been talking about the Riley Gaines story for a long time. This might be a long stream tonight, guys, because I have a lot of stuff I need to talk about. It was hot today, and I turned the AC on because I was sweating earlier, but I might have to go turn it off. My little toesies is getting cold. I'm wearing board shorts and no socks right now. It was awesome. It was like 70-something degrees here today. It was amazing. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. Deegan Stunner's telling me I need to breathe. Yeah, I know, dude. I'm sorry. I get worked up. This stuff's triggering, man. Like, try living around here. Like, I got to deal with these folks regularly. Like, I just go to the store and I got to see people walking around with masks, like driving into the parking lot in their car by themselves with the mask on. Still happening. I'm not kidding. You think I'm joking. You think I'm exaggerating, and I'm not. Other Californians will tell you. It's so frustrating. All right. That's it. I think I beat the Riley Gaines story to death, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of offshoots of that I wanted to talk about, but that's it. So I'm going to move on because I need to talk about California because there's so much stuff that's happened just in California in the last week, including the Riley Gaines story, that is just a clear demonstration of the failure of leadership, of the failure of Gavin Newsom, London Breed, Nancy Pelosi, Dianne Feinstein. I mean, all the people that have just run this state for like the last 80 years. You know, you had you guys know Arnold was a Republican. Like, Arnold was a Republican. You lived in Bakersfield? Yeah. Man, I've only been to Bakersfield a couple of times, and I don't know. I get bummed out when I'm in Bakersfield. I still love it here. Like, I'm a trail runner, you know, and like this is not a fake background behind me. I'm surrounded by redwood trees. It's beautiful, and I can run out my front door into a state park. I can run into Fall Creek State Park from my house. It's steep. Getting into it, and it's not like the best part of the state park, so I prefer to just drive there. But you know, I love this place. I don't want to leave. So there are definitely some problems. So this next segment that I was going to talk about, it's not really even a story. It's a plethora of stories that I wanted to talk about, but it's called "Why California is Effed." Why California is fricked, because it's Easter and I can't curse. Well, homelessness, crime, taxes, gas prices, price of rent, price of goods, traffic, road conditions, gun control. Gun control is a big one. So Gavin Newsom's always going around trying to tout his gun control. And I don't have any numbers in front of me, but I don't think gun violence is any better here in California. And here's what they have done to try and curb gun violence. I probably talk about this on every stream, but specifically for ARs, you have to. Yes, California is beautiful. Yes, it's just gorgeous. Check the Rumble chat really quick. I hate that I have to go over to it. Okay, nobody watches on Rumble. It's weird. Yeah, nobody likes to watch live on Rumble. I don't know why. I hope it gets better. Rumble is the future. It is awesome. I do like Rumble a lot. So what California has done to try and reduce school shootings and mass shootings and gun violence and all that stuff is pass massive restrictions on AR-15 rifles. They've outlawed some guns for arbitrary reasons. There's a whole roster. There's a whole California roster of guns that you're allowed to have. But the primary things that everybody knows, and to me, the biggest thing is the magazine restriction. You can't have more than 10 rounds in a magazine. And it's ridiculous. It's so freaking stupid because if anyone wanted to plan something stupid and horrific, they could easily get their hand on larger magazines that'll slap right into any AR. Like, no problem. I'm pretty sure you can mail order magazines that have like a stop in them that is like, it's a 10 round magazine, but it's the size of a 30 round magazine, but it has a stop in it. So it looks like a 30 round magazine. The thing is, if one was so inclined, they could take that little stop out, I think change the spring out, and boom, it's a 30 round magazine. But now, boom, you're also a felon. So, all this does is take regular gun owners, regular law-abiding gun owners that don't want to have any felonies. They don't want to actually do stuff wrong. Like, I don't want to do stuff that's against the law. I don't. But the laws are stupid. And if I decided, I have this, I want to show you, but I'm live on YouTube. I want to go grab it right now. But I have on my AR, it is a pistol grip, but it has this big, it looks like a shark fin. It looks like a dorsal fin coming off of the pistol grip, off the back of it. And the only thing is, so you can't get your thumb around it. So you can't hold it like a pistol grip. And what it forces you to do is keep your thumb forward. That's all it does. And I don't know what that is supposed to do because now your thumb is not technically, it's not above the trigger. So it's a way around the pistol grip thing. But if I were to just go take a Dremel, because it's plastic, but I just go take a Dremel and cut that fin off of my AR. That's all I did. And put it back in my safe. Like, if I went to the range and a cop rolled in, they could just cart me off to jail right there. Like, that easy. That's so screwed up. It is so unbelievably ridiculously screwed up. And so if you want to have a pistol grip on your gun, which a lot of people do, you have to have what's called the juggernaut system. It's so stupid, which means you have a bullet button now. So your magazine is like fixed in place. The magazine eject button, sorry, you can't push the damn button unless you break open the gun. So you have to like crack open the gun a little bit. Then it'll allow you to push the button. You can drop the mag, put a new one in, snap the thing back together and then chamber around. It's so freaking stupid. And a lot of times people don't like get it. It doesn't shut all the way, or some gunk gets in there and it doesn't engage all the way. It's just stupid. I would rather have the stupid fin. If I have to choose one stupid thing or the other, I would rather have the stupid fin than the stupid juggernaut system. So that's why I do. And I just have a super bare bones. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell you what I have. You need to know what I have. I'm just talking about it. But anyway, so what California's done. So the stupid magazine restrictions, 10 round magazines, the stupid you can't have a pistol grip on your rifle. You can't have shorter than a 16-inch barrel. Like, okay. You can't have an adjustable stock. Why? I don't know. I don't know why I can't have an adjustable stock. Like, why? Can't have a threaded barrel. Can't do suppressors. Yeah. You're concealed. If you are so lucky as to be able to actually get your CCW in California, you cannot modify your carry weapon whatsoever. Like, if you were in the unfortunate situation where you actually had to use your carry weapon and you put a red dot on it, you put a freaking red dot on your carry weapon, they would try to go after you. The lawyer would try to say, it's a modified killing machine that he's got. That red dot on there makes it fully auto. See? Like, anyway, California gun laws. That's what they've done. Sorry, am I doing it again? You guys are awesome. Thank you for participating in the chat. Yes, because they look scary. Like that's all it is. They want to get rid of the scary things. They can't tell you why. Like I just bought a rifle yesterday. I went to the gun shop yesterday. A very cool gun shop called Black Dog Gun Shop, Black Dog Armory in Fremont, California. Go check them out. Those guys are cool, especially if you've never owned a firearm or you're new to firearms and you don't like the gun shop culture. I'm not going to call it any shops, but there's a particular shop over in Campbell that they are jerks. I was going to almost curse again, but I didn't. See, Shelly? See? I didn't curse because it's Easter. They are jerks over there. But Black Dog Armory, man, those guys are cool. Those guys are just chill. And I'm still new to firearms. I've only been shooting like 4 or 5 years. And, they handed me a 1911. And I've only fired a 1911 one time, and it was under somebody's supervision. But I did hit my target from 60 yards out with the 1911. That's cool. Chambered 45 ACP. But I didn't know. I didn't even know how to drop the magazine. But they didn't make me feel like a jerk about it. It was cool. You just showed me. It was like, oh, okay. You're unfamiliar with 1911s, and you showed me the 2 safeties on it, and yeah, it gave me a whole how to operate a 1911. Now I know how to operate a 1911. Anyway, I brought my grandpa's old shotgun in there. Didn't even know he had it. I never met my grandpa. My dad was like 17. Cool ass dude. And apparently all his stuff skipped a generation because he was a mechanic. Like he built my dad a Ford Falcon when my dad was like 16. Damn thing caught on fire when he was driving over 17 once, and that thing burned to the ground. But that's a different story. But he was in, I believe, World War II or the Korean War. I can't remember. I think it was World War II. But when my grandma passed away, my cousin through marriage comes up to me and he was like, hey, I got your dad's shotgun. I was like, my dad don't got a shotgun. And he was like, yeah, it is. It was your grandpa's shotgun. I've had it. I was supposed to mail it to him, but I never did. And I'm like, what? Like, how have I never known about this shotgun? And it's cool. My cousin's a cop. I won't go into the details, but I got my gun back, my grandpa's gun, and it's a really cool old Stevens Browning Model 620 pump action shotgun. And it's great. You can unscrew the barrel and break it down into 2 pieces in like 30 seconds. It's great. It's heavy, so it wouldn't be the greatest backpack gun, but it could be a backpack gun. Can't shoot steel cased ammo out of it because it'll explode, but it's really cool. It's got a cracked stock, so I brought it in there to go get it restored. They told me all it needs is a new stock because the thing is in great operational condition, just needs a good cleaning. So I'm super stoked. I got my grandpa's shotgun. It's fully operational. I'm just super pumped about it. Then I saw a deer rifle. I need a deer rifle. I just got my hunting license and I've never been hunting before, and I'm going to get some tags this year. World War II. Thank you, Shelly. World War II. So my grandpa's in World War II. And I have a theory. I have no way to back this up, but I have a theory that he got that shotgun because that shotgun was issued in World War II as a trench gun. And so I have a theory that he was issued that shotgun and he wanted it when he got out. So that's the shotgun he got. That just makes sense to me. Anyway. Yeah, I needed a deer rifle because I'm going to go hunting for the first time. And I go in there and there's a Ruger M77 chambered 30-06. And it's got an optic on it already. I don't know how good the optic is. I've never heard of it. But it's got a freaking scope on it already. It's chambered 30-06 and, bolt action rifle and $650 $650, man. So I had to buy it. I told myself before I went there, don't buy a gun. Don't buy a gun. I bought a gun. But so you guys know, in California, I couldn't just leave with that gun. You guys know, I already went through the background check. Everything's fine because it comes back immediately. You guys know this. And you guys that bought a gun know this. You go to the background check, all that crap. Well, California, you can't just leave with the gun after your background check. Not even a bolt action rifle. You can't leave the gun store with. No, they have what's called a cool off period. 10-day waiting period. Cool off period. Yep. So I drive all the way back to Fremont in 10 days to get my rifle, and my shotgun probably won't be restored. Oh, and you have to come back and pick it up within a certain window. That might be how it is throughout the entire country, but you only have like a week window to come back and pick it up too. So that's kind of annoying. But okay, I got super sidetracked. Yeah, so that gun control. That's what California's done for gun control. Just trampled all over your rights. Like, I want a drum mag. I want a drum mag. I don't want to go to the range with the drum mag, but I want a drum mag sitting on my shelf, ready to go. Filled with green tip. Just sitting there. Can't do it. Not here in California. Can't do it. You're a felon. They will show up. The feds, no, it wouldn't be the feds, but state cops will show up and they will take you to San Quentin. Yeah. Yeah. Gun laws in California are insane. You can actually get your CCW in some counties. It's fairly easy. I am going to try and get mine soon too as well because, well, this is a window behind me and I'm doing a podcast speaking about things that Californians don't like. And you can just, I should probably not give anybody any ideas. Okay. Continuing on. This is a sanctuary state. There's freaking Newsom, Kamala, Maxine Waters, Adam Schiff, Feinstein. We're talking like 80 years of control with those folks. 80 years of control with them. There's like one break with Arnold, you know? And it's funny is like in my lifetime, I think Arnold was the best governor. Like, yeah, he spent tons of money. He was the governor, but I want to see his high-speed rail finished. And Gavin Newsom wants to stamp his name on that. Bull. That is Arnold's high-speed rail. That was his dream child, I think. I might be making this up. Fact check me on this. But I'm pretty sure the high-speed rail was Arnold's thing. And I want to see that thing completed. We've dumped bajillions of dollars into it, and we have nothing to show for it. And I think it's come down to like what do they call it when they could just take your land? Manifest destiny or whatever. Not manifest destiny. That's what they use to I think that was the Mexican-American War. I'm getting stuff all mixed up. What do you know in the comments? Someone tell me, what's it called when the government can just come and take your land because when they want to build like a highway or something through it? I think that's what's happening with that's why it's not completed. They're running in spots where they can't actually build the rail. But yeah, so I'd like to see that completed, but there's like no way out of this because we're trapped in this Democrat rule because like I'm not a Republican, but like I don't know. I'm a libertarian. I'm a registered libertarian, but I don't like parties. I don't like the Libertarian Party. They're freaking ridiculous. The Mises Caucus is pretty awesome, but it's still like I don't like parties. I don't like being tied to any sort of group that believes in these like rigid set of rules. But and especially with what the Democratic Party has become, it's like antithetical to everything that I've been taught in terms of like how to be a good human. You know, outwork everybody, show up, wake up early, like be nice, like all these things, work out, you know, like eat well. It's just all these things to be a better human, to be a better individual is like all this stuff's like frowned upon now. And it's all the stuff that I learned is antithetical to like the Democrat Party. There's been this reversal now, like free speech. So like, that's why it's funny. San Francisco State University's statement talking about free speech. It's like the Republican Party is, unfortunately, you know, the MAGA people at least are the free speech people. Well, I don't know about that, but it's definitely not the Democrat Party that are free speech people because I'm sure there's Republicans that would want to shut down speech as soon as they said something that they deemed was completely beyond the fray. But anyway, we got mail-in ballots here, so we're trapped in this system. There's mail-in ballots. They run all of the like election. What do they call them? The where you go to vote, the voting facilities, whatever the F they're called. Didn't curse again. Said the F, the letter, didn't say the word. Yeah, they run all of these. Like I firmly believe that, since we're streaming on YouTube, I won't say the word. I believe that California's elections, all of them are fortified, are 100% fortified, and there's no way out of this. So yeah, everything that they do promotes more homelessness. Everything they do promotes more drug use. They don't arrest stuff that's actually against the law. They'll straight up supply paraphernalia to drug users. They'll give homeless people a paycheck. They will actually give homeless people a check. They will pay you to be homeless here. No joke. Like there's so much regulation that keeps it, like, you can't just build a house on your own land. Like if you got 10 acres and you already got a house on there, you can build one in-law quarters. You got 10 acres, 10 usable acres. You can't just go and build another house, like zone it out and even like sell that house or whatever and like give it a new address or whatever. You can't do that. You can't just do stuff here. You can't cut down a redwood tree that's on your property. Like, you don't actually own your property here. You don't, well, I guess with property tax, you don't own their property anywhere, but like they won't let you do anything here. When we had these fires up here 2 years ago, I mean, so many people lost their houses and they just wanted to go and put a trailer on their property and rebuild. And the county was putting people through so much heck and red tape that they made it insanely difficult for people to just put a trailer back on their property. I met one guy that was like basically in tears telling me how I was like, you know, I'm going to lose my 15-year-old daughter because we can't stay in hotels anymore and they won't let me go back to my land. I own a trailer and everything and they won't just let me go put my trailer on my own land. He was like almost in tears telling me about this. It's what California does to specifically like middle income people, to destroy the middle class and promote drug use and homelessness and all other forms of horrible behavior, stealing. Everything is like designed, it seems, to destroy the middle class. Like parking, San Francisco parking. I won't even go into it again. I got my van towed at work in San Francisco once because you need like a cipher to figure out if it's okay to park in some places in San Francisco. Like you'll roll up and you'll see the curb painted like red, yellow, gray, then red. And then there's like signs for each different section. And it'll say like, you know, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. on every other Tuesday of the fourth leap year of each decade, you can't park here. But you can if you're trans, you know? And it's like, well, how would they know if I identified as trans? I'm just going to put a trans sticker on my car. And you come back and you got a ticket anyway. It's like, you never know if it's okay to park anywhere. Obviously, I was being extremely making all that stuff up. There's none of that. But I did get it. I got my van towed because I parked in the wrong spot because I thought I could actually park in this spot. Couldn't. I'm at work. I drove to a job to go like mount a TV and put up some speakers and crap like that. I come back out, my van's gone. And, you know, I think I parked in the wrong spot for, you know, I think I'm just like confused at first. And I'm like, no, sure enough, I can't park there. My van got towed. Well, immediately, I'm at the tow yard within 25 minutes, like well under 1 hour, immediately $740. No joke. And my work won't pay for it. It's the company van. I'm at work. I'm on the clock. They're like, nope, the van's your responsibility. You parked in the wrong spot. It's just, so it's like immediately now I'm paying like my next 2 days to work. Like I'm paying San Francisco. I'm paying the city of San Francisco to go to work, you know, like I don't have $740 to just give away. And they do this to everyone. People lose their cars all the time. They'll just jack your car. Like you'll get your car towed and they'll be like, well, I don't got $700 right now. Oh, well, it goes up. They'll charge you by the hour. They'll charge you like $140 per hour. Next day, it's $1,200. This isn't the first time I had to deal with this too. I got my car towed. Man, I think I told this story on a stream before. I was driving home from Emeryville once. I was working in Emeryville, and I had expired tags, like no, yeah, expired tags. I don't think I had insurance. Cop pulled me over, towed my car. Like, could have cop could have been cool, but he wasn't, and towed my car. I don't even remember how I got home. I was living in Hayward at the time. This happened over like foot of the Bay Bridge, basically, on the Oakland side, and it was like $1,200, and it was just enough money to where like it was worth spending the $1,200 to get my car out. But if it was another like $200, $300, $400, my car wouldn't have been worth it anymore. Like, it was a piece of crap, like Chevy Lumina, like a '97 Chevy Lumina or something like that. The funny part of the story is the tow yard was over behind the Oakland Coliseum. And so I took Bart and my skateboard there. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm like 24. No, I'm like, yeah, I'm like 23, 24 at the time. And I'm just like, super dorky white dude on a skateboard. And I get off Bart, and I skate over to where, like, I got directions like that back in the day at MapQuest. So I got like MapQuest directions printed out. And I turn the corner onto the street that the tow yard's on. And there's like 40 black dudes, like, in the middle of the street on ATVs banging wheelies, like ATVs and dirt bikes, like in the middle of the street. Just so you know, that's not legal, guys. They did not care. They did not care. Nobody was going to say nothing to him. No cop was going to come down there and tell him to leave. Well, this one dude bangs a wheelie on his ATV and comes like flying right at me, basically, and drops it down probably like 20 feet in front of me, and like continues driving forward and slams on his brakes and like stares at me, and like very intimidating. I got like $1,200 cash in my pocket, and I'm freaking scared. I'm pretty damn scared. I think I can say damn. Can I say damn? I'm sorry, I said it. But yeah, so I'm scared, and I literally just go, "Hey guys," like, I'm such a dork. Like, but it worked. They just let me go about my business, and I went and got my car. Like, they did not perceive me as a threat, because I absolutely was not one. And it was pretty funny. I think I might have pooped a little, but yeah. And now, now I'm 39, and like I wouldn't go down that street. I wouldn't go there anymore. Oakland's so much worse now. That was close to 20 years ago now that I'm talking about. Nah, it was like 15 years ago. But there's no way I would do that today. Oakland is so much worse now. Yeah. Used to drive Bart too. Yeah, Bart is trash. I haven't ridden it in a long time. Caltrain's not bad. Like, Caltrain from San Jose to San Francisco, that's not bad at all. It's actually fairly comfy, especially if you go up top. I like sitting up top. Yeah, like I'm just sort of just railing on California. That's what this is. But there is ways that we could improve stuff around here if the leadership was so inclined. We could start actually enforcing laws. Like, you can't make it a felony again to go in and fill bags full of goods and leave stores. Like, allow cops to arrest people for stealing again. Like, I'm already like not a fan of the way we do policing, but again, if you're going to have laws on the books, enforce them. Same thing with homeless, drugs on the street, all that stuff. Enforce the laws, arrest people, and yeah, enforce existing laws. But I think it was Reagan that got rid of the sanitariums, and I'm very conflicted on this because it's a state-run thing, and I'm very anti-state. But so many of the homeless are people that should be in mental health facilities. Like, we all know the horror movies where they have like the sanitarium, the old like rundown sanitarium, and the nurses are evil and they torture. Like, we all know those stories and stuff, but I'd be willing to bet that there was like good, legit mental health facilities that were good for people. Like, there's people that should have somebody looking after them. We can't just kick people to the curb that have legit mental health issues. And I'm not talking about mental health issues that are brought upon by drug use, because a ton of the mental health issues that we're seeing would go away in people if they stopped doing drugs. If people got clean, even alcohol, if people just got clean, got off freaking psych meds, some people just actually make it worse, but for some people, but just people getting clean, the fentanyl, heroin, meth, all this stuff makes people wonky, like chemically imbalanced. And, it's very easy to say, oh, that person's got mental health issues, when they're just high as a kite all the time and they're barely ever eating, because it's like so much of this stuff would go away if we started doing something about the fentanyl flowing over the border, doing something about people doing drugs out in the open. Take them to jail. What if we brought back sanitariums? What if we had mental health facilities where people could detox and then go to these facilities? And then what if they even like, okay, who's your family? And you haven't talked to your family in years because you guys, like, what if they even started trying to build bridges between family that's been ostracized from one another? Because, I'm sure you guys all know the person that you can't help, the person that no matter how many times you bring them in, try to help them get clean, try to keep them out of trouble, give them a place to stay or whatever, they're just going to go right back to it every time. And there's no helping a lot of those people, but some of them there are. Some people do turn it around. People actually do. What if we had facilities that were either state run or private, but they took people in? Like, yeah, you had like people that there's people out there that want to get better. There's people out there that are addicted to drugs, that are homeless, that are just at absolute rock bottom, that want to get better, but they have no clue where to start. They just don't know what to do next. Like, life seems like a bottomless pit. And I mean, I've been pretty down myself, but I've never been that down. So like, I've been to points where I didn't know where to start, and that's why I tell people, you just got to start. You just got to go. You got to start starting. But I've never been down to the point where I don't have, I got a felony record. I'm homeless. I don't have any money at all. I'm addicted to drugs. Like, yeah, that's a bad situation. If you're aware, and if you're aware that I'm in a bad situation and I want to fix it, but that's your reality, that's tough. I wouldn't know where to start. What if we had facilities for those people that are like, oh, okay, you actually want to do this? Okay, let's do this. Let's get you clean. Step one, let's get you clean. Oh, okay, you want to learn about this trade that's going, that a trade could change a man's life. Like my buddy Gino lives up here in Boulder Creek in Santa Cruz Mountains. He goes throughout the country and teaches people how to roof, teaches people how to be a roofer. And he gets tons of dudes that are like, a lot of dudes that are the situation that I'm explaining, guys that are like fresh out of prison, just made a ton of mistakes. Like, there's a lot of really good dudes that made some really bad decisions and they want to fix things, but they don't have any options because of the way things are set up. So they go back to, jacking cars or breaking into houses or whatever. They're not violent people, but they gotta figure out something. What if there was places for, anyway, I'm sort of talking out my butt there, but we used to have them. We used to have sanitariums. They were state run. You can have the whole, whether they're state run, they're federally run, they're privately run, but I feel like we need them back. And that will help the homeless problem. Enforcing drug laws will help the homeless problem. Enforcing, well, like, you can't sleep on park benches. You can't just pitch a tent under every single overpass in California. Like, you get all these fires too. Like, all these freaking fires. Yeah, there's tons of little things that could be done to turn this state around. But for some reason, everybody thinks that it's got to be this miracle fix, like this is the one thing or something like that. And then there's no way I'll ever, vote Republican because of women's rights to have an abortion. And it's like, let's even say that abortion is a woman's right, because that's highly debatable. Because, well, I'll say, like, I do consider abortion to be murder. We could have the whole thing about the whole discussion about when does a life begin, but sorry, I lost it. Abortion. Sorry. A lot of people won't vote for the right because of the abortion issue. Like, I can't vote for the right because they'll take away a woman's right to choose. Let's just say that's actually true. And I don't think it is a woman's right to choose the abortion thing, but let's say that it's actually that is actually true. That is a right. Well, even if you voted for Republicans, I don't think that right is going anywhere. I don't think that's changing at all in California, no matter who gets into office. But let's even go further. Let's say a Republican does get into office, and that is going to change. Well, you know what? Yeah, all these other issues are more important to me. Yes, they are. The homelessness, the crime, the drugs, the cost of everything. That's all more important to me. Yeah. I would trade that for them outlawing abortion. Because this state has crumbled into the abyss. You can't. The Cash App founder was just stabbed and murdered. And I'm hearing conflicting reports. I'm hearing it was either in the Rincon neighborhood or it was in like the Noe Hill area. I don't know, but let's just say it wasn't a good neighborhood. Like, dude was just murdered in San Francisco, the Cash App founder. You got the Riley Grimes thing happening a couple days later. The day after the Cash App founder was murdered, a fire chief was beat with a crowbar almost to death. Beat with a crowbar by some random homeless person that just had a crowbar walking around. That's the thing too. You'll see a homeless person just walking around carrying a crowbar or whatever. Like, when they go clean out these homeless encampments, not only do they usually find bodies, like they do, the really large encampments. There used to be one in San Jose called the Jungle, because it was all along the Guadalupe River and like near downtown San Jose. And when they cleaned it out, they found, I think it was 3 bodies, tons of guns, knives, all sorts of stuff. Because, I mean, well, they're not going to raid homeless encampments, right? Like, yeah, California's out of control. The Riley Grimes thing. Cash App founders murdered by being stabbed at like 2 something in the morning. The fire chief beat with a crowbar almost to death. All this stuff happens within a week, and this is just what we hear about. These are only the things we hear about because these are all well-known people. You probably didn't even hear about the fire chief guy because he's not a well-known person. You hear about the Cash App dude because, well, he's the Cash App dude. And I don't understand Californians. I don't understand you guys. Like, you're all my neighbors, and so many of you agree with me on so much of this stuff. And you only agree, and when you do disagree with me, it's like you only kind of disagree with me, and you can't really tell me why you disagree with me. It's just your triggered gut is telling me why you disagree with me. But all of you are terrified to say anything. And I get it. I mean, you'll get canceled. I'm having a very difficult time finding work within my previous career. I think there's a reason for that, but I'm not shutting up. I'm not going to. I'm only going to get louder, like Riley Grimes said. People have to be willing to risk crap. Like, nothing's going to change, guys. You have to be willing to lose stuff. You have to be willing to lose your job. You have to be willing to sacrifice your reputation. And it's unfortunate, but we're to a point where I don't know if there's any coming back, California wise. Like, the stuff that keeps me here is because I'm a trail runner and the beauty, but people freaking hate me. Like, it's like people hated me before I talked about stuff, but now it's like, man, it's like random people are recognizing me. It's not cool. Like, whatever. All right, I think I've ranted enough on California, but there's actual fixes for this. You know, we need to fix our water infrastructure, do better with roads. But there's actual stuff. Force the laws. Freaking don't subsidize homelessness. Don't promote homelessness by giving them pay, by giving them paraphernalia. Don't promote drug use. No more mail-in ballots. There's so many little things that we could do that would actually improve stuff, but people don't think it would improve it. They want a single fix. I don't know. Like, it's like improving yourself. There isn't like you just need to change this and you'll be better. It's like, no, you need to quit drinking. You need to wake up a little earlier. You need to eat a little bit better. You need to actually lift some weights sometimes, and you need to get in cardio. You need to read some books sometimes. You need to stop watching TV so much. Like, you need to stop scrolling through social media so much. Like, there's a million things you can do to improve yourself. Like, a society or a city or a county or a state isn't any different. It's all little things. Like, we have structures in place, and California is being destroyed because the fundamental structures in place that are vital to the sustainability of this state have been completely broken. And we need to fix it. It's not doing anything. Sorry, I'm just ranting now. Let me go check the Rumble chat. Just ranting. Eminent domain. Thank you, Pete Grabber. That's what it's called. And I think that's why the high-speed rail in California hasn't been finished yet, because they keep running into eminent domain issues. CCW is pretty easy to get in the county where I live. Well, what county is that, Pete Grabber? Yeah, they're easy to get in a lot of counties. Like, people think it's impossible, but it's not. Santa Clara County, Alameda County, San Francisco County, like Marin County. I would imagine all of those is going to be very difficult to get it. But I'm in Santa Cruz County, and I think it's like they have like a red, yellow, green like tier system. Like, red, you ain't getting it. Like, that's like Santa Cruz or Santa Clara County, Alameda County, San Francisco County. But then there's like yellow, which is like my county, Santa Cruz County. And then there's red, like shall issue counties. And I think that's like Monterey County, Fresno, like more rural counties. I don't get why Santa Cruz isn't. Like, I have mountain lions on my street. Why can't I have a concealed carry? Why can't I walk down the street with my dog with a pistol? You know, like, we have legit mountain lions on my street. So, yeah. Sutter County. I don't even think I've ever been there. That's up north, right? Pete Grabber. Excuse me. All right. What do we got next? I was going to talk about some COVID and vaccine stuff, but I don't think I'm going to, because this stream's going super long already. Yeah, I'm going to skip over that stuff. It was trending, and it's all the same topics. Is there excess death now? Myocarditis, like all that same kind of talk, but I don't even think I'm going to get into it. I'm going to skip over that one because I do kind of want to get to this Daniel Perry story. He's the Army sergeant that in Austin, Texas, back in the Summer of Love. Remember the Summer of Love, when the mostly peaceful, fiery Summer of Love? Well, Daniel Perry, who's an Army sergeant who had his concealed carry, who's well aware of the situation going on during the summer of 2020 after the George Floyd stuff. Everybody is aware that there was stuff going on, but a lot of people weren't aware of what was going on every single night in cities like Portland, the bigger cities, and almost all cities. For some weekends in a row, it was like all cities. This was insane. I was watching this crap live. It was so insane what was going down every night. There was one night in San Leandro. These dudes broke into the Dodge dealership and jacked like 7 Dodge Challengers. It was insane, and I watched it live from a helicopter cam. It was just, the night was like, that summer was absolute madness. And my theory, I think the summer of 2024 is going to be worse. I think the summer of 2024 is going to be absolutely out of control, especially if there's some sort of event that sparks public unrest, like the George Floyd thing. If there's something like that pre-election and Trump's the guy for the GOP, and I don't know, they cart out Hillary again or something, oh man, it is going to be wild. But anyway, Daniel Perry. I just keep going off on tangents tonight. I'm sorry. This is another bad one. I'm sorry, guys. I'll get better. Daniel Perry, Army Sergeant, well aware of what's been going on the whole 2020 Summer of Love. He's driving around in Austin, being an Uber dude, just making some extra cash, just trying to pay the bills. He's got his CCW, comes around the corner, and all of a sudden there's a mob on him. He tries to back up, and nope, he's surrounded. Mob on him. Can't go nowhere. And then all of a sudden, dude comes up to him with an AR. No, I'm sorry. He had an AK. It wasn't even an AR. Dude comes up to him with an AK, and he starts lifting it at him. Well, anybody, I don't have my CCW. I haven't taken any like tactical classes or anything like that. But I have learned to shoot from people that are good, that know stuff. Yeah, but I'm not good by any stretch of the imagination. But I do know that if I was carrying and I came into a situation where I was confronted with somebody with a rifle, knowing that one of those rifle rounds is going to put me down a lot easier probably than my 9mm. Well, if he starts lifting that barrel towards me, I'm not waiting until it's pointing at me. I'm doing a full mag dump. At the second that barrel lifts from being pointed at the ground, the second that thing is pointing at me, mag dump. And I'm reloading and maybe dumping another one. Like, no, what were you thinking? And anyway, that's what Daniel Perry did. I don't even think he dumped his mag. I think it was like 5 or 6 shots. I got the footage. I don't need to show it. You guys could probably find it. Like, I got a bunch of stuff pulled up for this. I don't even need the deck that I created for tonight. But yeah, you guys go look up the footage on your own. Hey, Wally World, how's it going? There'll be a trans Floyd event in 2024. There's gonna be something. There's gonna be something silly. Yeah, for sure. Let me check the Rumble chat over here. All right, I think we're good. Okay, I think we're good over here. All right, so yeah, so he puts the guy down, the guy with the AK, and he just got convicted for murder, and that's the situation. He came around a corner, being an Army sergeant with the CCW, being well aware of what's been going on this crazy summer of violence, and he's immediately surrounded by a violent mob, knowing that many of them could be armed, and then visually identifying a threat approaching him and motioning his weapon up and towards him in defense of his own life, kills the threat. Like, good job. Nice work. Good job. Go about your business, sir. And the Austin PD said, yeah, this was a good shoot. This was 100% self-defense, like not much more of a clear-cut case, you know? And you kind of have to ask, does Kyle Rittenhouse getting off as he should have? Does this weigh in the minds of these folks when they're making these decisions? Like the police chief already said straight up, no, this is a good shoot. It's fully self-defense. Oh, DA is going to go after him anyway. And he gets convicted in Austin. Like, Austin's one of the places I would consider moving to as well. Like, I don't want to move. I'm a Californian. But Austin is one of the places I would consider moving to because all of like my favorite people have moved there. Like, I'm pretty sure Lex Friedman moved there, but you already got Joe Rogan, Michael Malice, and I think like all Joe Rogan's buddies moved there. Joe Rogan opened a comedy club there. And yeah, I'm a little gay for Joe Rogan, all right? Like, I was a total shitbag before I discovered Joe Rogan's podcast. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Shelly, I cursed. I said the SH word. I'm sorry, Shelly. I've been doing pretty good, though. There's been no F-bombs this whole time. So, all right, I'm doing my best, Shelly. But, yeah, I discovered Joe's podcast back in, like, I mean, probably 2013, 2014, something like that. And I used to listen to that thing freaking religiously. And I had stopped doing martial arts like 4 years, 5 years before that, 6 years before that. I hadn't played baseball in over 10, 15 years, something like that. I was drinking all the time. You know, I just was broke. Like, just everything was a pile of crap in my life. And I'm not saying it's Joe's podcast did this or anything, but in the time that I've discovered his podcast, it's like, well, I've quit drinking, started running ultra marathons. I ended up, saving up a good amount of money at one point. I got stuff now. I got like, 2 cool old cars and, hunting stuff. I got my hunting license now. I do jujitsu. Like, I eat better. I'm in the best shape of my life. I read all the time. Like, my life is so much better, and a lot of it is just life advice I've taken from Joe's show. Just like I'm saying about the little things that'll improve a city. It was just little things that I did to improve my own life, and well, I kind of do have Joe's show to thank for that a lot. And yeah, I don't know why am I even talking about Joe Rogan's podcast? Oh, why I wanted to move to Austin. That's one of the places I would consider moving there. Why I even start talking about that? Because I was talking about where the shooting happened. Jesus, I am awful. I probably shouldn't have said that on Easter either. But that is the gist of it. He comes around the corner. Daniel Perry, Army Sergeant comes around the corner, mobbed. Guy at the AK comes up, puts down the threat. Well, he gets convicted, even though Austin police said it was a good shoot, and everybody else said it was a good shoot. So that's it. I'm sure he's going to appeal. But the mob mentality that night where he shot the dude with the AK, that mob mentality is the exact same mob mentality that was at San Francisco State University driving Riley Gaines into that classroom. Same mentality. I was listening to Scott Adams yesterday, and he was sort of like trying to downplay that as it's like chalking it up to like I don't want to disparage Scott Adams and misquote him, but it seemed like he was trying to say that it was like an isolated thing and these are like college students and that's how they behave. But this isn't a new thing, man. Like, all of this stuff's been happening since Brett Weinstein, Evergreen College. Like, that's when all this came to a head. And if you guys aren't familiar with Brett Weinstein and Evergreen College, you should go down that rabbit hole. But basically, he's an evolutionary biologist that was a professor at Evergreen College up in Washington State on Pacific Northwest, just north of me. And at that college, they used to have some sort of day there where all minorities or just black people, I can't remember, would leave campus. It was like a day without a black person or a day without a minority or something like that. Well, one year, all of a sudden, I think it was 2015, they decided to change it to no, all white people need to leave campus. Like that's what they were saying now. Like all the white people need to leave campus. And Brett was like, "Well, I'm not doing that. Like, no, I'm not doing that. You can, participate in whatever you want to participate in. You can have your protests, you can do your things, but I'm not participating in that. I'm not going to be discriminated against based on my skin color." And it turned into a firestorm. And he ended up losing his job. And like I believe there was somebody running around campus with a baseball bat at one point looking for him. Like they got violent. Like and of course, everybody backs down to the mob. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And it has. And this is the same summer that, Milo Yiannopoulos, Ben Shapiro, I think Dave Rubin, they were doing like college campus tours, and giant mobs would form out of all these college campuses, like tons of different ones, but like Berkeley was one of the big ones. And this was very early on. And well, it's 8 years later now. And all these college students now are working in tech companies and they're working all over Silicon Valley and the Bay Area. And they still have this insane ideology. They're still trying to jam it down your throat. This isn't about accepting other people. They don't want, like I said, I have friends that are trans that I respect. I know one person that, like, I agree with them on so much stuff. Like they're they're a super they're very much a free Assange person. And if you're a free Assange person, you're good in my book. Like, like if we're aligned there, we're probably aligned on quite a few things. And like I have no beef with trans people at all. You want to live your life the way you want to live your life. Like, who am I to tell you any different? But if you want to, as a biological man, start kicking women out of spaces that are designed to keep them safe and give them somewhere where they can compete against one another, no. I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to stand against you on this. And if you want to be a drag queen, if you want to go to drag shows and dress up and do all that stuff, great. Awesome. Have a blast. Like, be the belle of the ball. I don't care. It's wonderful. Why do you got to dress up like that, put on all the makeup, and go read stories to kids? Like why do you want to do that? Why is that necessary? Yeah, I'm going to stand up against that too, because that crap is suspect to me. Like that, there's a reason it's called grooming, because this doesn't seem like you're like kids are just trying to figure out the differences between boys and girls at that age. Like, they don't need that confusion. It's anyway, I'm ranting again. All right, so that's the Daniel Perry story, though. He got convicted for shooting a guy that was aiming an AK-47 at him. Yeah, that's it. Oh man, I have so many other stories that I wanted to get to, but I think I'm just gonna have to talk about one more thing because the stream's already getting pretty long. I already talked about it a little bit in one of my previous streams, but this is such a big thing that I think this is like COVID big. Like when this drops, the world will be different in such a drastic regard. In the same way that like how the world is now compared to how it was pre-COVID. Like that's how much I think this will change the world. specifically our country, the FedNow stuff. This stuff's happening. This stuff's coming. It's not a hypothetical. They are doing this. And in conjunction with all the other stuff that's happening, this seems like a major play, a major move is being made. And I'm talking about the FedNow stuff. I'm talking about the central bank digital currency that the US is going to launch in July. They're doing this. So first they'll tie it to the dollar, I'm sure. But then what? I don't know what happens after this, but it's not going to be good. But launches in July. It's similar to Cash App, central bank digital currency. All banks and all businesses will ultimately sign up for it. What this means is, you buy something on Amazon, instead of it going from your bank into Amazon, it's going to go from your bank to this. It's like a federal credit account. It's like it gets intercepted and then it goes to Amazon. So every single transaction that you make is going to go through the federal government and then go. So there's going to be like approved stuff that you can buy, approved places that you can buy it from, a time frame that you have to spend your money in. This money's only good for this amount of time. Like they do that in China. China's the model. Like what they're doing in China, just look at it. Just look at what they're doing in this, like what the CCP is doing to their civilians to make them walk around, scan stuff for access control, like gates and crap like that, like 15-minute cities. All this crap ties together and it's happening. This isn't a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. This is all out in the open, documented stuff that you can easily confirm yourself. And it's, yeah. So this central bank digital currency thing that they want to do is like, I guess it's very similar to what the Silvergate exchange network, which was like a peer-to-peer digital dollar exchange. And it was like, so Silvergate customers that were signed up on each end, they could just send dollars to each other 24/7. It was like a Cash App type thing, but it was their own proprietary thing. Why did they make it? I don't know. Because there's already all these things like Venmo and Zelle, Cash App, all that crap. But I think, I don't know if they're going to use the blockchain with it. Some of you guys might know. Here, I'm sorry. Let me read some chats. So Government Abbott did release a statement on that. Wally World, thank you. He can't pardon him. Apparently, he doesn't have the power to pardon him. So he can only make a recommendation. He's asked them to expedite it. But so a lot of people were talking crap to Governor Abbott because he hadn't pardoned him yet. But he put out a statement saying, "I want to pardon him, but I can't. I don't have the power to." Essentially, so. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and sorry, I think these chats are super behind. Yeah, you said Brett is a super liberal. Yeah, I know. The whole Evergreen College stuff, Brett Weinstein, he put up a stand, he made a stand, and yeah, they turned on him, and all of a sudden he's no longer a liberal anymore. He's a right-wing racist. Let me check the Rumble chat. David. Yeah, that's why so many people are moving out of California to and New York. Yeah, for sure. But a lot of the country says like they don't want Californians bringing their politics to other states. It's like, well, I think you guys are getting all the Californians that are conservative. So like it kind of sucks because you're taking all the people I like away. It's like, I want you guys to all stay and hang out and just talk crap to all these people. It's so funny. Like they're not hard to fight. Figuratively fight. Like none of their arguments can stand up to any sort of scrutiny, and they're all pushovers that are scared of confrontation. So you just tell them to piss off, and they do. They just go away. They're a bunch of pansies, man. Like, stop moving away, guys. Like all this stuff's going everywhere in the country. It's gonna follow you wherever you go. Stop moving out of California. Stay here and call out the nonsense. It's hilarious. It's hilarious anyway. Just make fun of it. Make memes. Take pictures of people in public that are doing silly shit. Sorry, I cursed again. Shelly, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Okay. Alrighty. Central bank digital currencies. Yeah, it's happening. So the Silvergate Exchange Network, well, that failed. It dropped. And then, well, what's another company that tried to do it? Well, Silicon Valley Bank. Oh, what just happened to them? So it's not a good thing. Robert F. Kennedy made a statement on it. I read his statement on my last live stream, so I'm not going to read it again. But yeah, it's going to be like they are going to control your money, what you can spend it on, when you can spend it, where you can spend it. Shelly, I'm sorry. I haven't dropped an F-bomb yet, at least. And that was one curse word. So I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, the government's going to be able to control how, when, and where you spend your money. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go along with this stuff. They're going to try and make it so difficult to not go along with it and so excruciating that everybody just goes along with it, even when they're conscious of what's happening. But don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, there were so many things I wanted to talk about. Trump was at the UFC last night. That was pretty awesome because he was sitting there with freaking Tyson, Kid Rock, and Dana White. So Dana White, Trump, Tyson, and Kid Rock. Man, I want to know what those conversations were like. That would have been some interesting conversations. There's some funny memes too. Because there's a point where Donald Trump was making Mike Tyson laugh his butt off. What world are we living in? This is absolutely the simulation. Anyway, the crowd started chanting USA. They were definitely for him. Jorge Masvidal called him the best president of all time. Yeah, people miss Trump, man. Even Californians miss Trump. Obviously not all. I wouldn't even say a majority, but maybe. Like, I'm not the hugest Trump fan, but man, the dude sure is hard not to like sometimes. He is hysterical. And this whole indictment thing is not making me like him any less. Bodega Stunner. I don't think I can go much longer, man. I think I'm gonna have to wrap it up, bruh. There's some other things I could talk about, but I mean there's Mexico and China. Shelly, she's the one that told me about this. But okay, so the big report, I think it was Inside Paper is where I saw it. It was saying that Mexico was asking China for help with the fentanyl going over the border problem. And the way they framed it was like, Mexico's reaching out to China for this. Why aren't they reaching out to their neighbor to fix this problem? But it's like, you look into it a little more and it's like, no, they're kind of like asking China, like, hey, can you stop flooding Mexico with fentanyl so it stops going over the border? Because that's where all the fentanyl is coming from. It's coming from China. So that's how that report, it was framed a little funny, but that is sort of like they buried the lead with the story, because Mexico wanting to join BRICS is the big story to me. Like, that's huge. Mexico wanting to join BRICS, like, hello, they're our neighbor. We share a border with them, and they want to join BRICS with Russia and China, South Africa and Egypt now, and what was it, India? And I think United Arab Emirates. All the that's the big story with Mexico and China to me. So look into that one a little bit too. The CCP was circling around Taiwan, just like, flexing, peacocking, just going around Taiwan in a militarily aggressive fashion, just sort of talking mess, I guess. But they're kind of making a big thing about that. Oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to say also last week that happened, like in addition to Riley Gaines, in addition to Bob Lee, the Cash App founder, getting murdered, in addition to the fire chief getting clobbered with the crowbar, Joanne Segovia, the head of the San Jose Police Department's police union, was finally fired and is facing lots of charges over her fentanyl ring that she was running. And this horrible, horrible woman tried to blame it on her housekeeper. And apparently around the station, she was called like the nana of the department or something, or the grandma of the department or something like this. You look at a picture of her, and yeah, she looks like a Betty White type. You never know. You never know who the evil people are. So, San Jose, California. I've talked about this already, but she was just fired recently. So all in 1 week. That head of the San Jose Police Department police union is busted being like a kingpin in a fentanyl ring. Bob Lee, the founder of Cash App, is murdered, stabbed to death. The head of the San Francisco Police Department, fire chief, is beaten almost to death with a crowbar. And then Riley Gaines is basically held hostage in San Francisco State University by a violent mob. All California stuff. I don't know, guys. I don't know what the fix is. I've said some solutions of like things that could possibly fix it, but I don't like none of those things are going to get implemented. It's new. It's still the same people in charge. There ain't no voting our way out of this, I don't think. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to point at it, and I'm going to laugh at it, and I'm going to talk tons of crap to Gavin Newsom on Twitter, and I'm going to call out all the BS. That's all I can do. And I'm going to keep being the best human I can be. And I hope you guys do the same thing. I fail often. Like, I am not that great of a human. I do my best, but I could definitely do better. And yeah. And I think on that note, I think I'm going to leave it there. But I hope you guys are all doing your best to be the best person you can be too, and be the change you want to be in the world. That's how we make this place better. We improve ourselves. It's the only way we can do it. Stop telling other people what to do. Fix yourself. Clean your room. Make your bed. Yeah, I think that's it. If you haven't already, please give this stream a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, follow. Links are in the description below for my socials. If you share this stream, that would be super cool because it would help this platform grow. This is only my 6th stream, and I do plan on doing this. I wanted to do it every day, but I'm realizing a stream takes more like a day and a half to prep. As of right now, I'll get faster, but I don't think I could do every day right now. So I'm thinking 4 a week, maybe right now. I don't have a time slot, but I think I want to do it in the day so you guys can see this cool background because I like it during the day. During the night, it would just be my curtains, and I don't like that. So I'm going to try and do them during the day. Maybe I'll go 4:30 every day. I don't know. All right. Well, made it almost 2 hours. Man, that's definitely my longest one. It's kind of crazy just talking into a camera for 2 hours. I got issues. I got problems. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why you watch. I don't know why you hang out with me, but I'm glad you do. I'm so glad you do. I've made legitimate friends on Twitter. And the FMU, the Forest Mama Universe, follow every one of them. They are awesome. They have treated me like family, and they are awesome, and I love all you guys. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Yeah. All right. Send me stories if there's especially California specific stuff. If there's stuff that gnarly stuff that isn't being talked about, send it to me. I would love to cover it. All right. Thank you guys so much. Let me check the chat before I go. Wally World, thank you so much for watching. Podink and Stoner, you are awesome. I know you're microwaving burritos. I hope you at least got them warmed up and out of the microwave, and I hope you got that that binger loaded up and you're enjoying it now. No dessert for you. Why not? Oh. No dessert for you, Santa Cruz from Mom. Yeah. I did pretty good, Shelly. I didn't curse that much. I did pretty good. All right, Wally World, Podink and Stoner, Mom. Thank you guys for hanging out so much. Let me go check over on Rumble. Good boring. Santa Cruz Mountain Goat knows how left wing and fascist like the Bay Area is. Yes. It is fascist too, because they're like the people that protest and do all the violent stuff on the streets. They're seriously like the foot soldiers for the Democratic Party. It is fascist. It's and all these companies too that are just like other arms of the Democratic Party. Anyway, thank you for giving it a like. Good boring. I appreciate it. Twitch employees are Nazis, are they? I was thinking about streaming on Twitch. Yeah, I might start streaming over there. So hopefully they're not Nazis. I'll tell them they are. I'll tell Raj that. Hopefully I didn't say anything that'll get a strike on this channel. The thing is, I don't really care if my YouTube channel gets nuked. I don't really care because Rumble is the future and YouTube sucks. Yeah, Raj, I said it. YouTube sucks. All right, that's it. I'm going to go now. I'm going to leave it there. I'm hungry. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you would give this a like, share it, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. All right. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.